This week's Torah portion contains the tragic sin of the spies. Moshe sends spies to scout out the land of Israel to see what is the land like, how are we going to go about capturing it, and the spies come back with a negative report. And it's not exactly clear where exactly did the spies turn against Moshe's wishes. Our sages tell us the spies left. These were illustrious people. These were leaders of the tribes. These were very great men. And at some point they come up with an evil plan to speak badly about the land of Israel. And perhaps one of the transition verses, which will hint to us as to where they go wrong, is at the beginning of the second Aliyah. We're told, Vaya'alu ba'negev, they ascended in the south, Vayavo at Hebron, and he arrived at Hebron. And already Rashi, the famous commentary printed on the bottom of the Chumash, Rashi comments that the verse seems to contradict itself. It says, Vaya'alu, and they went up, Vayavo at Hebron, and he arrived in Hebron. If it's a group, which of course it is, it's a group of spies that are ascending to the land of Israel, Vaya'alu, and they went up, it should have said Vayavo'u, and they arrived in Hebron. Why does it say here Vayavo ad Hebron, that he arrived in the singular, instead of speaking about the entire group? And Rashi gives one suggestion. Rashi suggests that really only one of the spies arrived in Hebron, but I'd like to share with you a different suggestion by Rav Aryeh Leib Tzintz. And Rabbi Tzintz explains a beautiful comment here, which I think gets to the root of why the spies were making this tragic mistake in our parsha. And what he suggests is that the spies left Moshe as a group. There was a group of these men that were going on a mission together to scout out the land of Israel. That's how they left. But by the time they arrived, it wasn't Vaya'alu. They weren't now acting as a group. Vayavo, and he arrived. It wasn't that only one of them arrived. In truth, all of the spies arrived. But they no longer were acting as a group. Each one was looking out for his self-interest. He arrived in Hebron. It was now me to think about what's best for me. What is my mission now as I go in to scout the land of Israel? In Judaism and in life, we need to think beyond ourselves. We can't just think about our own self-interests. We need to make sure that we're thinking about others as well. At the moment we don't care about the group, the moment we no longer care about our mission, and we're only thinking about ourselves, that's when things begin to go off the rails. I wish you, as always, a wonderful Shabbos.